to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Jo Labbé, here as part of Star Nation's radio network, broadcasting through Be Live TV. It is a beautiful evening today, this day before the full moon. So we're gathering some energy to create even more change. For those of you who've been paying attention to the energy kind of going on around us, we've been in a lot of cosmic energy in the past month, and it's, not fully letting up yet, but it is settling down a little bit. And so how do we take care of ourselves? Well, that's why we're here. This is your night. This is your time for you and I and all of us to gather here together to do healing and clearing for ourselves. Because as light workers, we often don't take the opportunity to really check in and see what we need because we're so busy helping other people. And then next thing we know it, we're depleted and cranky and can't help anyone. So thank you for those of you who are checking in to take care of you. That means there's more of us who can be out there helping and being in service. After we do our healing meditation, I pull some cards that many of you know that's part of what I do. And this deck is what we're using this evening. It's the Peace Oracle. And the Peace Oracle is by Tony Carmen Salerno and Leela Williams. And I really like this particular deck at the moment because it's one of the subtitles is Guidance for Challenging Times. And I think in some regards, there are a number of us who are going through challenging times, whether it's just, physical ailments, emotional ailments, mental, spinning, or maybe we're having difficulty in our relationships. Relationships have been really dominant in the past month and a half or so, looking for all the ways that they're not functioning well and how do we bring them back into harmony and balance. And so that's been giving us quite a ride, I'm sure you guys all know. So if you would like a card drawn for you after the meditation, all you have to do is type in yes, please. I will get to everyone who asks for a card, and I will read them, draw them in the order that we received them here at the broadcast studio, which may be different than the stream that you see there on your phone or your computer. It may not be in that particular order. It's the order that they come into the studio. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I hope you guys are there. And I know there's a bunch of people who are here with us already who've already requested cards. And I want to say thank you already to my guest, well, not my guest, my producer, my cohort, to Neshi, for being here to help facilitate the card reading, especially because when I get going, to be able to do the number of cards that we do in one evening, I need a little bit of help because it's hard for me to be in the logic brain and the channel brain. And some of you guys know what I mean by that. So let's do the business at hand, which is if you could really help out by loving the show and sharing it either on your Facebook page in a group that you think might be interested, or even just sending it through Messenger to someone who maybe could use a little healing or might be looking for some guidance. Because the more we spread the energy out there for others to share with us, the more we can, reach people who are in need. My team always talks about they can use technology really easily to spread the word, but also to gather together the people who really can use our help and guidance here at Star Nation. So Thank you ahead of time for those of you who've already done that. And let's get going. Let's get grounded and into our healing meditation. Let's get some of that old gunk off of us so that we can move forward in a brand new way. So let's start by taking a couple of deep breaths. And with each deep breath, I want you to focus on bringing in fresh, divine energy and blowing out any stuck old energy that doesn't serve you. Let's do that a couple more times, breathing in the divine and releasing the old. Now we want to ground our energy to connect deeply with the earth and the earth mother. And to do that, I want you to feel your chakras, all 7 of your major chakras, the one near your tailbone, the one near your belly button, the one near your rib cage, the one in your heart, the one in your throat, the one in your forehead, and the one at the top of your head. And ask each one of those chakras to gently move down through your body in connection, down through your hips and your legs, and opening those spots at the bottom of your feet, and allowing your cords of connection and your roots to connect deep within the earth, traveling miles and miles to the molten lava center, passing rocks and crystals and dinosaur bones, and when you feel that your energy has reached the center, find some way to anchor your cords. Whether you wrap them around something sturdy, you imagine them turning into an anchor to hold you steady. And if you're having difficulty, then invite the Earth Mother, Grandmother Earth, to come up through your feet and hold on to you. Feeling that energy come up through your feet, through your calves, up to your knees, your legs, and your hips. And just feel held by the earth so that you can feel safe and secure as you do this healing meditation. And we're going to begin by calling in the divine energy, however you perceive that. And inviting the divine to surround and protect you in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. And you can even make a second bubble around the room or the space that you're in. Just so you can relax and be comfortable where you are in this moment. And we welcome in your spiritual team, your guides, your mentors, your angels, the Ascended Masters, all divine beings of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to you, to us in this moment now. And we set the intention that the healing and the messages this evening are for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. And we're going to begin by inviting the divine energy to come in and connect to our crown. So whether you experience that as God or Goddess, all that is creator, simply allow the energy to connect to you and allowing the healing vibration, the frequency, to begin to move through you and around you. And as it connects to the crown, just giving space for all doubts that you have to gently dissolve away, expanding your inner knowing, and the wisdom that comes in our divine connection. And gently bringing the healing energy into the third eye in the center of your forehead. And allowing any distracted thoughts, ideas, beliefs, or patterns to gently come back into harmony, bringing all of your energy into the present moment, releasing all distractions about what may happen in the future, and bringing yourself back into this moment and this breath, and releasing all distractions of what happened in the past. And once again, bringing your energy and your breath into this moment. And allowing space for your intuition to expand, to connect more fully with your spiritual team, opening new pathways of communication, giving you clarity, and allowing all of your senses to work together as a beautiful team. And opening up the ears so that you can hear more clearly the messages and the guidance being shared with you. And also so that you may be heard more fully by others, including your spiritual team.
Yeah.
And gently moving the energy into the throat and releasing all the tension in the back of the neck and all the ways we've held on to energy or bit back the words that needed saying. and opening the connections in the throat to your self-expression in all the forms and the ways that you beautifully express you. And letting any energy where you hold back or feel held back by others, allowing that to dissolve, release, and even allowing the stress that we carry in our neck and our shoulders, allowing the divine water energy to move down and dissolve any tight spots. Returning our energy into the flow. And moving down to the shoulders and the upper back. Noticing the tightness that you may be carrying here. All the responsibilities, the burdens that have weighed you down on your shoulders. And just releasing all of that for this moment. Because right now you are simply here taking care of you. And you can be in service to others in a little bit. And moving into the heart and the high heart. And feeling any places where unconditional love is having difficulty flowing freely through your heart. You may sense it as tension. You may feel shielded or squeezed. And asking the energies of sadness and grief, breathing love into those places so you don't have to hold them quite so tightly. And the pockets of disappointment that we hold on to, sometimes when we seek others' approval, or when we hold on to blame or shame. Or anything we've taken personally, taken to heart. And inviting in our connection to our inner child and giving the child space to feel loved, to feel joy and wonderment, the excitement of new things. And connecting to the inner adult, that responsible part of us that gets so busy doing that sometimes it forgets how to simply be a being. Releasing all the stress that the adult may be carrying. And connecting also to our inner warrior, the advocate who fiercely protects us, keeps us safe, but helps us find and use our voice. And allowing the warrior a time of peace and tranquility. And also connecting to our inner wise one, that elder that we have carried with us in each and every lifetime, who helps us connect to all the knowledge that we have ever accumulated in each and every lifetime, and even taps into the knowledge that humanity has acquired, and opening that space for the inner knowing to enter. And feeling our heart as it connects to our transcendental heart, the high heart, filled with the gentlest, brightest, unconditional love. The original energy of creation. And moving down into our solar plexus in the belly area. And noticing any discomfort that we may be holding on to, any places where things feel tight or swirly. And inviting any energy that is not love to begin to dissolve and melt away. And that energy attached to fear may show up in our body as anxiety or stress, a sense of overwhelm or panic. It may show up as frustration or resentment. And even the energy of judgment or anger, including righteous anger.
God.
Making room for your inner fire, your inner flame to burn brightly, but in a balanced way.
No.
So that you can feel your desire and allow it to move through you to create amazing, wonderful new things. And filling your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-confidence. Releasing any energy about being enough or being too much. And inviting the energy in your kidneys to gently ground through all your meridians, down into the earth, down into your feet. And asking your adrenals to calm and quiet. For in this moment, you are completely safe, surrounded, and protected. And moving down into your second chakra, finding any energy that is impeding your flow, creativity, abundance through your relationships and connections. Any energy that is causing disharmony. Releasing any emotional responses that you held onto or were unable to express in the moment. Releasing them out of your energy field. So you have space for your inner water to flow fully and completely.
Go ahead.
And opening the connection to your hips as they connect to your first chakra as well, down beneath your tailbone.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Releasing any additional energy that is attached to your feeling safe or secure, your finances, your job, your home, anything that may be causing you to feel unsteady or out of balance or out of sync in any aspect of your life. And allowing the energy to move down your hips, down into your thighs and your hamstrings. Making room for flexibility and adaptability in all aspects and areas of your life. Moving through your knees, your calves, your shins, through your heels, feet, releasing to go gently down beneath your feet through all the layers of the earth. And just imagine them going deep to the center of the earth, that molten lava center, and allowing them to dissolve and to turn into everything you're willing to release in the old, burning brightly to be brought in for new energy for you and for the entire planet. And now allow that beautiful creation energy from Grandmother Earth, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, to move up through your feet and begin to fill you with all the restorative and healing energy that you are able to hold in this moment. Moving up through your feet and your ankles, your calves, your shins, your knees, your hamstrings and thighs, through your hips, and filling the whole basin of your pelvic floor like a giant bowl of creation energy. And allowing it to move up your spinal cord, through all your bones, through your organs, and your chakra system. Gently moving up through your belly, your ribs, your lungs, and your heart. Allowing space for your heart to stretch and grow to hold just a little bit more unconditional love for yourself and to share with others. And as it begins to move up toward your neck, allowing it to roll down your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, down into your wrists and your hands. And as it moves up your neck to the base of your skull, allowing it to clear your jaw, your throat, your sinuses, your brain, your third eye, all the way to the top of your crown. And gently allowing that energy to flow over you, to begin to cleanse, restore, and repair your aura in all of its layers. And we're also going to gently connect to the energy of the full moon. You may sense that at your crown, and it is a beautiful light turquoise ray of healing that comes through. And allow that to connect to the divine masculine and feminine, the white, the gold, and the turquoise rays coming through your crown, your third eye, your throat. Allowing them to anchor in your heart. And from your heart radiating out through the rest of your chakras, through the rest of your energy body, and even going down into Grandmother Earth and allowing her to connect to the restorative energy of the full moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now gently take a moment to thank your spiritual team for connecting to you this evening to guide you in your healing. And gratitude to the divine energy that is there for us in each and every moment. You simply have to remember to ask. And begin to bring your awareness back into this moment. You can begin to stretch or yawn, move your body a little bit, rub your hands or feet. And just begin to bring yourself back into this moment. And as we begin to get settled, we're about to do the card readings, which are from the Peace Oracle deck. which is the guidance for challenging times. This is the Tony Carmen Salerno and Leela Williams deck. And I love to use it because there's so much juicy connection energy that we can tap into. And in addition, my team wants to remind you guys that I will be teaching at Star Nations Academy. So if you enjoy the meditation and the clearing and the healing weekend that's coming up in October, it will give us space to really go deeply. We spend 2.5 days of really moving any energy that is keeping us stuck in our lives. So I invite anybody who would like to join us to do so, because there's some magic that happens when we gather as a group and choose to release what no longer serves us. And there's this moment when each person has like an aha awareness of a piece of themselves that they've rediscovered, which is really quite powerful and magical. So we're going to start with the card readings. And so Ed is my first card. Hi, Ed. So love this card for you. So your card is the transformation card. And I don't know if you can see, but it's a woman and a tree all together. So it's hard to know if the tree is turning into a woman or the woman is turning into a tree. It's kind of up to you which way you see that. But you are in the process at the moment of moving through a transformative time, which means you have been used to being Ed in a particular way. And they're showing you growing and expanding into a newer, fuller, in bloom energy. So I'm seeing Ed turning into this blossoming tree as part of this. So what I'm hearing for you is that you've been making changes, that things are shifting. But as that's happening, your energy is shifting as well. And when our energy shifts, then the way we did things in the past, often they no longer work for us. And I know that that has been showing up for you in a number of different ways. And what I'm hearing from them is that, open yourself to even more possibilities than you've created up till this moment. Because as your energy goes through the next little shift, I feel like you have one more little click of the dial that's going to happen by the fall equinox. So that final click of the dial, when you reach that point, then there'll be a lot of like ding, 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 aha moments of, okay, this is who I am right in this moment, and this is where I'm headed. Okay, sounds very cool for you. All right, Margaret. Nice, Margaret, you have the everlasting life card. And so the everlasting life it's a reminder for all of us that when we get caught up in our life circumstances, and lots of times we get really stressed out about time. This often shows up when we're freaked out about time. I don't have enough time to do this. There isn't time to get everything done that I need to. There's this reminder that time is just something we've constructed here on the earth plane, and that even in death, we are still eternal. So there is no end. There is an end to this particular chapter in this particular vehicle, but we get really stressed out as humans about the constraints that we think we're under, that we've created. Basically, we created them to stress us out. So just remember, you're connected to that, and that, you know, you are connected to all that love energy as well, and allow that sense of I am eternal. That's what I keep hearing. I am eternal. To resonate through you, because anything that we carry that resists that can cause difficulty for us. So I would even use that as your mantra. I am an eternal being of light. And how cool is that for all of us? Thank you, Margaret. All right, Andrew, of course. This is one of my favorite cards. This is the Tapestry card. And I had a quote that came in from my team. I'm going to read it to you. We are all but strands in the tapestry of creation. So what we forget is that, we are like one of the strands. We're one string of this beautiful woven blanket, the tapestry of humanity, the tapestry of creation. And we forget the interconnectedness that we have with all the other strands. And sometimes when we forget about being part of the tapestry, we feel isolated, we feel alone, we feel forgotten, or we feel unimportant. But every single strand makes up the tapestry. And you know that when we have a blanket or a sweater where one strand gets pulled, then we have this part where it's pulled apart, and we focus on what's wrong rather than on what's right. So what I'm seeing for you is that, find some things that connect you to the tapestry of humanity. Go to a free concert, or just get out there where there's other people that you can say hello to and feel part of and connected to. Because that helps us to ground our energy and to remember how to stay and be connected with our higher self and who we truly are. It's an opportunity for you to show people who you truly are. All right. Julie. So your card, my dear, is listen. And, she's got her eyes closed and she's really focusing, right? So the listen card, Julie, is about going inward and hearing your intuitive guidance. There's so much coming through for you right now. I know you're going through a lot of change energy. And you are so good of taking care of other people all the time that sometimes it's really hard for us to focus on ourselves and hear the guidance that we need to hear. It's almost like it gets so noisy with other people that we can't hear, our own radio wavelength. So this is inviting you to find some times to get quiet and listen. Now, some people would do this in meditation. Other people, I'm somebody who I will listen when I'm driving in the car, because you do, especially if you have a commute, you do it on automatic pilot. It's a time when I can really tap in because there's no other distractions, right? Or you might do it when you're washing the dishes, or those routine tasks that really don't take very much bandwidth for our thinking brain. Those are places where you can listen. Of course, you can listen out in nature as well. But it's like, take those quiet moments, 5 minutes here or 5 minutes there. It doesn't have to be an extended amount of time. But really tap into that because there's a lot coming through for you, and they just want you to hear it. Nice. Okay, Rob. Interesting. This is the encounter card. And the encounter card, look at the forest and all the swirling wind and trees and all of that connectedness. So the encounter card is, you might have even somebody got this last week. Our spiritual teams often are helping us with the next lesson and with the next learning that we need to do. And it happens when we run into other people and we come across something we'd never seen before. We walk a different path and we get to experience something that we never saw. And we hear a conversation we never would have heard if we didn't go a different way. So this is encouraging you to make sure that you're not in a rut. Like you always do this on Tuesday, or you always do this on Wednesday at this time in this direction. It's good to have a schedule, but also make room in every single day for you to do something differently. And in those different things, allow time for you to meet other people, and to create new chance times when you can meet some people. It's like, what I'm feeling is like there are some key people in your life that you need to meet, but you aren't going, you're hibernating in your house or something. And so you got to get out to meet them, or you're not going to have this opportunity. So try to get out there in front of people and around people so that the universe can bring these encounters to you, because it's actually more than one. And one feels, sort of friendship related, and one feels like a mentor kind of relation. So get out there so you don't miss that. All right, Cindy Lynn. So Cindy Lynn, your card is forgiveness. And I don't know if you can see, but there's the caduceus kind of snake energy going up to the top. And, his head's kind of, he's the tree, his head's kind of tipped over. So in the forgiveness card, we often are beating ourselves up. Our inner critic is really rough on us about, oh, you shouldn't have done this, and oh, I wouldn't have done that. And it's like we have this recorded voice that is saying negative things to us, filling us with blame, filling us with shame, and often with doubt as well. We start doubting ourselves and our ability to make choices because we've got all this other stuff coming in. So this is a time where they're inviting you to just stop and, sort of, I always see it as putting the inner critic over to the side and saying, thank you for trying to be helpful, but right now I need to take care of me. And in that space, look for ways that you can actually give yourself a break, give yourself some forgiveness. We all get caught in circumstances and situations that we wish we could have a do-over, but we can't. So do we hold on to that, or do we just love ourselves and say, you know what? I did the best that I could. It may have been, not the best like overall for me, but it was the best that I could in that moment. And that's all you can do. And, we treat ourselves so much more harshly than we would ever treat our friends or our family. So you need to do some forgiveness work and really tap into your heart and give yourself a break. You've been through a lot, and you're a really beautiful soul. And so if you need some help with that, some ideas on how to do forgiveness, tap into some of the Star Nations hosts, because a number of us have done forgiveness work in a variety of ways. So we'd love to help you out. All right, Marie. Your card, my dear, is choice. And this choice card, boy, look at that star right in the middle of the throat. So the choice card is great because it means that there are a number of things that are up for you, a number of paths that you can take. And so you're in a particular energy where it's time to choose. And the choice may seem super difficult right now. But the reality is there's no wrong choice. Whatever you choose will be the right thing for you in this moment. Often when we're in this place where there's a number of choices, each choice will teach us a different lesson. So it doesn't really matter which one you do first. So just use your voice and feel inside of you which thing is right for you right now. They're all right for you at some point, but what feels most in alignment with you? And you're a strong feeler, so you want to feel it in your heart and you want to feel it in your belly, and you want to check those two places. If your belly squeezes tight, then maybe it's not the right choice. And if your belly lets go, often for me, that's a phew sensation. And when you have that sensation, you're like, okay, that's the way I'm going to go right now. And know that these choices will come back up again. It isn't this is my only chance. The universe doesn't do that for us. It always provides us with another opportunity to learn what we need to and experience what we're meant to. Okay, so you won't be missing out. All right, Jackie. Hi, dearest. Your card is priority. Woohoo! I think we all could use this one. The basics is it's time to make yourself a priority. How often are we putting other people's needs in front of our own? How often do you do self-care? And how many ways do you do self-care? I had a client who said, well, I do self-care all the time. And I said, okay, what do you do? And she's like, well, I go and get my hair cut. Well, how often do you do that, sweetie? Oh, every 5 weeks or so. So that's all of your self-care. Do you do anything else? No. So once every 5 weeks, that's not self-care. It is caring for yourself. But self-care is about you matter. What you want matters. What you desire matters. When you make yourself a priority, you're not hurting anyone else. You're empowering yourself, but you're also empowering everyone around you, because then nobody is putting someone else's needs before their own, which is when we start to people please. And when we people please too long, we kind of start to feel like a doormat, and like nobody cares. And, we get really caught in resentment. But when we make ourselves a priority, we can lovingly say no. And we can lovingly set boundaries with the people around us and the circumstances around us. And you'll notice that for you, your resentment of others and situations will start to just melt away. So reach down deep and make Jackie a priority, because you matter. All right, my dear. April. Nice. Your card is positive outcome. I love this. It's beautiful. So, you've had something percolating, and in that percolating stage, you've been waiting for a result. And what I'm seeing is that everything's coming up roses. That's what I'm hearing, hearing that song, and smelling roses, by the way. So if roses mean something to you or to someone on the other side, just keep that in mind. But this means that, all the hard work, all of the patience you've had to go through, is leading up to something that is just a breath of fresh air, a breath of relief, and it is finally coming together in the way that is best for you. And so it's like a mini celebration maybe in order. And all of this is in the next week. It's really quick. It might even be by this weekend. So I encourage you to also celebrate the success, because lots of times we take that for granted, and we've been waiting for a long time for something and we're like, phew, that's over, but we don't celebrate all that we went through to get there. And that enhances the positive outcome. It actually will amplify the vibration so that it can radiate even more into your future. So have some celebration with that. All right. Deborah, I believe, is next. Yes, Deborah. So Deborah, your card is resolution. And the resolution card is it's similar to what April's card was. Yours is also an ending, but yours is more of like, okay, now it's done. It's complete. This is how it's going to be. It doesn't necessarily have that rosy energy attached to it, but it's an ending. And something that's dragged on for a while finally gets to end. And that is beautiful. Because when we're in energy for a while and it drags and it drags and it drags, it pulls our vibration, it pulls our energy, it pulls our light down, and it squeezes us into a smaller version of ourselves. So now it's almost like cut the cord, that's over there, and now we're moving forward. And it's like with that cord cutting, I feel you kind of like perk back up, and it's like, there's Deborah. Deborah's back to Deborah, and phew, that's over. That hardship's done, and I'm moving forward. So if you need help with cord cutting, let us know. Because again, there's a number of us who would love to help you with that. All right, Anne, how are you tonight? Your card, my dear, is action. So the action card, look at all the swirling and all the movement that's in this card and all the colors and vibrations. I love it. Action comes in when there's this desire and passion energy that have gathered together, often in the solar plexus area of our body. It's like you've called in this energy of creation, and now it's time to do something with it. So, if you've been waiting for the perfect opportunity, or if you've been patient about the next thing, now is the time to move. Now is the time to take action. You're done sitting on the sideline. There's no more thinking. It's time to move. And again, I'm hearing the same thing from before. Make a decision. Don't worry about if it's right or wrong. We paralyze ourselves in, is this the right decision? Is this the wrong decision? That's in the duality. That's in a sense of polarity. There's actually multiple choices. And so in the multiple choices, there's no right or wrong. There just is. So whatever propels your heart forward, that's where you want to use your desire, and you want to use this action energy. It's kind of like you're in a car, your body's your vehicle, right? So you're in this car, and all of a sudden you're going to floor it, and you're going to step on the gas, and you're just going to ride it out. And so do it. Take action. Don't hesitate. Phone a friend if you need, that self-confidence boost, but you got this. It's time. All right, Christina. Oh, this one fits you so well. Nature. You in need of a little nature, my dear? Time to get out and reconnect. So the nature card is just that. Mother Nature is calling you outside. How can you get outside and reconnect? We all get more grounded when we're outside. And, it was pretty darn humid today. I hope it's going to let up tomorrow because it sometimes makes it hard. The air quality, it's hard to breathe. But get out there and be with those trees. Be with the grass. Be with, all of the little creatures that are out there and breathe in the beauty, the sunlight and the sky, because nature really fills you up. And I know you know that in like a backward place in your brain. But how can you incorporate nature into your daily practice? How can you incorporate nature into your schedule? Like, you need a nature break. Other people need a coffee break. You need a nature break. Make sure you're putting that into your schedule on a daily basis, because it almost feels like you are nature depleted, if that makes sense. Like, if you don't have enough vitamin D, we need to take a supplement. This is your nature supplement. All right. So get to it. All right, Emily. Your card, my dear, is acceptance. Look at this gorgeous goddess. And the gorgeous goddess that it connects to in you, right? So in the acceptance card, it's again about that inner critic. The inner critic is really rough with us. It can say really nasty things to us, about us, and we sometimes take it in and believe it. But when we can accept who we are in each moment, to be happy with the body we're in, happy with the circumstances we're in, and acceptance isn't defeat. I've had a lot of people who when they think of the word acceptance, their energy goes, oh, I have to accept where I am, and it depletes them. But this card isn't about depleting you. It's about saying, love you where you are right this moment. Love you in each and every moment. And when you love you, then all you do is radiate love. So when we accept who we are and all of our quirkiness and all of our perfect imperfections, right? Is that what the song says? When we just hold on to that, we are exactly who we're meant to be, and we accept that, then we also aren't seeking approval from other people. And that's another thing that's been said this evening. So when we don't need approval from anyone else, then we can stand in our own light and be our own person. So how can you do that today? How can you do that this week? How can you fill yourself with more love, unconditional love, and anywhere that you need help with that, I encourage you to, keep a journal of what is blocking you from accepting who you are, and then start healing and clearing that. All right, Martina, I'm going to grab a quick sip. Of course, you can have a card, sweetheart. Your card is ingenuity. Ooh, I love that. So ingenuity is a great card. This is telling you that what's going on for you right now, you need to tap into your inner wisdom. It's time for you to tap into that all-knowing energy and create something brand new. That genius energy comes when we're fully connected to source, to the divine, and we don't doubt the information that's coming in. So when all of that is open, we can create brand new solutions. We can create brand new strategies for amazing things to go on and amazing things to happen. So, if you didn't get a chance to watch chakra sessions yesterday, I did an inner wisdom activation, and that really taps into the ingenuity energy. So if you need a little help connecting to it, I invite you to do that meditation that was there on Tuesday, and because that really tapped into some cool energy for a number of people, because you're ready to be to break new ground, to create new ideas, to create a new solution to an old problem that everybody's been complaining about, and be like, whew, why didn't I think of this before? It's because now source and the divine is ready to share the answer and have it flow through you. So get to it. We all need it. All right, Jacqueline. Of course, my dear. So your card is Timeless Earth. And when the Timeless Earth comes in, it is very similar to the Eternal card. But the Timeless Earth is reminding you that, yes, we're on this earth plane and we get caught up in the restrictions that time creates for us. But when we ask the divine to stretch time and give us space to get the things done that we want to get done, and that we have plenty of time here on the earth plane to accomplish everything we're meant to. And so it allows us to release that urgent energy. So when the Timeless Earth comes up, often there's this anxiousness that happens, and this panicky urgency, like, oh no, I got to get this done, because if I don't get it done, something bad's going to happen. Whew. Breathe into those places. So if any of that energy begins to stir in you, or somebody tries to stir that energy inside of you, remember that you have plenty of time, and that here on the earth plane, when we're connected to the earth and when we're connected to our spiritual team, we flow with the earth and not against it. And that keeps us in that timeless energy and that open energy of flow and abundance. That's where you can magnify. Interesting. You can manifest in your life, and I guess magnify. So you can really bring things into the awareness, and allow them to shine for you and for others. Kind of cool. All right. Aline, nice to have you here. Haven't seen you in a while. So your card, dear, is Release. What a great card. Great card for all of us. See the heart in the middle of the tree, and the eye of the all-knowing eye, and the large crown chakra, right? And then the star that keeps the throat wide open. So the release energy is perfect. Tomorrow's the full moon, right? And you know that here at Trinity Healing Sanctuary, when we have our full moon meditation and the healers share, we encourage you to write down everything you want to release in your life. And this is the energy that's wanting to happen. So You don't have to do that here. You can do that even at home. We all can do that. We can do what's called a write and burn. So write down everything that's just not working for you in your life, and you can either burn it, or you can hold it and ask the divine to take it. You can put water on it to ask that it be cleansed and washed away. Whatever feels right to you. I'm just called to use fire, because then it, as the fire activates and it burns it, it's like I can see the release happening up to the divine through the smoke. That's just the powerful way that I like to do that. And I always use sacred crystals around the space that I'm doing that with, and I use sage as well to help the clearing go rapidly. But whatever you need to release right now, and it feels a little anxious, feel free to do that kind of burn and release. There's also an oil for that. I have an oil that's called Release Your Story, and it helps you cut cords, if it's cords in general, with some other people that you need help with releasing. So you know where to find me. All right, Linda. Your card. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. I saw Cindy Lynn's name. Of course. It's lovely you're having a card for your mom. So this is called Treasure. And see the two eyes and the beautiful coin with the star on it. And so the Treasure card is a reminder for us to remember our own personal value. So what I'm hearing for you is that you are valuable. Your soul is valuable. Your thoughts and your ideas and your beliefs are valuable. And be open. Allow other people to see you, and that the one eye is for you to see others, and one eye is for others to see you. And because when we have that exchange, when we're seen, and when we see others and we can be seen, then our true self really activates and we become who we are. And that is that we're all this beautiful treasure. We all have a gift to share. We all have a gift to give to humanity. It's why we're here. And so when you're feeling less than that, find some ways to reinstate that you are this beautiful, valuable person, to fill those spots of self-worth, and know that you are constantly seen by the divine. The divine sees you even when you're trying to hide, and would love for you to shine your light brightly, because you have a wonderful essence that needs to be shared with others, because you are a treasure. But don't hide your treasure. We don't need to bury the treasure. It's time for it to be unearthed and shared with everyone. Ah, how sweet. Okay, Jackie. So your card, my dear, is Simplicity. And I've been doing this one, boy. So simplicity is, lots of times when we've been doing things for a long time, we add and add and add, and it ends up being, we get overly complicated. Sometimes there's a part of us that feels like if something's really complicated, then it means, it's better, or we're smarter or something. But the full energy of our body and our essence flows when we're in simplicity. And what that means is simplify your schedule. What can go? What's taking up time that's not giving you space to breathe? Simplicity is, what clutter do you have, in your home, in your closet, in your car, at your work, that could go. it's no wonder that there's a lot of people who are making a profession out of decluttering, right? I mean, that could even be something that you could do, right? Is help other people get to a place of simplicity. Because when we're in that place, then the worries melt away, the fears melt away, and you just are at ease with yourself and with your life and your surroundings. So look for ways that you can simplify some of the chaotic energy, around you in different places. And we all have those nooks and crannies, even if it's the junk drawer. Do the junk drawer and clear it out. But make space for you and your breath to be, have room. You want to have room to breathe and be you. And we can't do that amidst a lot of chaos. So how can you bring simplicity back into your life? Nice. All right, Genevieve. How are you, my dear? All right, your card is contribution. I love it. See how there's a heart at the root of the tree and that most of the leaves are hearts as well? So this is about how can you contribute to your community, to your family, to humanity right now. We all can find ways. It doesn't have to be financial. There's been a lot of negativity attached to contributions, thinking that, forcing people to pay money that maybe they don't have, or really don't want to share that. But that's not what contribution is about. It is how can you give a part of yourself, some of your energy, intention, and focus to something or someone in need. Can you help out a neighbor? Maybe you have an elderly neighbor who could use help mowing the lawn, or could, who had surgery and maybe could use somebody who could go pick up their groceries for them. Maybe it's, the local school is looking for volunteers to help read to the kindergartners. Or maybe they need supplies for the art room that you happen to have in your house, or you have a gift card to a store that you could buy them at. How can you contribute? How can you do your act of kindness? People talk about the random acts of kindness. What if they weren't random? What if they were something that we made part of our daily practice? How can I spread kindness today? How can I contribute to raising the vibration of the planet today? And then find your way, because we all have our own way to do it. I love that for you. I love that for all of us. Thank you. All right. Of course, my dear. And this fits you to a T. Persistence. There you go, my dear. So the persistence card, I almost feel like you know what the reading is already without me saying so. You've been going through some stuff lately, and that's okay. And right now, you're using your energy to get through it. And you know how to persevere like nobody's business. And that persistence is just keep at it. And you may not feel like you're getting anywhere, or you may not feel like things are actually moving. But in the energy of persistence, we don't usually even sense or feel the things that are melting and falling off around us until we finally have a moment to stop and we look back, and then we see all the things that we left behind. So just know that this may be like, using all your energy right now to just get through it. But in that energy, sweetie, that persistence, that perseverance is going to carry you through. And, you know, it's like, I feel like you have to do trudge, and then boom, off you go. So just keep at it, because there's some fast energy coming really quickly for you. Woo! All right. Mary. Oh, yes, Mary. Okay. So your card, my dear, is Unity. And I love this. See all the faces that are connected to the tree, you know? And I think of the tree of life whenever I see this card, and whenever I experience the Unity card. It's, you know, we are the tree of life. Each one of us is a tree of life, but we're also part of the tree of humanity. And unity is about how can you call together the energy of harmony with other people. You know, we get really isolated, we get really separated, and when we do that, we become sort of desensitized to other people's journey. And when that happens, we've stepped away from our humanity. And we all know how that's been happening a lot on the planet, is when we don't think and breathe of other people as being aspects of ourselves, then we can treat them unkindly. So you have this beautiful soul that is meant to start gathering people together. So I don't know for you if that means, you know, creating a special group, a special class, a Facebook group, or a page where people can gather. But you are someone who's meant to help bring people back together, create unity, create healing through the unity. That's a key that the team is trying to say, is that, you know, as you bring people together, it's going to allow space for healing for everyone, including you. So it feels like a very important thing, and it doesn't feel like something that's just for this week. It really sounds, it's being said in a very gentle way, but in a very powerful way. Like, this is like the next step of your soul's mission kind of way. So I hope you can, you know, get your thinking cap on and find ways to bring some people together. Thank you for that. All right. Now, Lynn, I believe. All right. Yes, of course. So your card, my dear, is reflection. And the reflection card, notice her eyes are closed. She's looking inward. And when we're in a state of reflection, we go back. So my team doesn't want you to go too far back. Or your team, somebody's team, the team. So for you, the reflection energy is, there's been a couple things that have happened recently. And now that enough time has kind of passed, and it doesn't feel like a lot, maybe a few weeks, now that there's been a little space to breathe in, now you can kind of look back at that energy and reflect on, what was that really about? And what was my lesson in that? And what was the gift in that? But it's not encouraging you to go way, way, way back to like childhood. It's something that has happened relatively recently that maybe unsettled you, maybe caused some discomfort, dis-ease in a number of different ways. And you needed some space to be able to, you know, we all need a timeout sometimes when energy gets too much, and we need some time to really check in. This is time for you to do that check-in. Check in with yourself and your experience without worrying about anybody else that you are involved with. And reflect on, again, what was the gift? What was the takeaway? What was the lesson? And did you learn it? And if not, can you? And can you get some help healing that if it needs healing? Because that will create a lot of movement for a lot of people. Thanks, sweetie. All right, Carol. Oh, nice. So your card is Earth Angel, my dear. And the Earth Angel, this always has two meanings every time. I've yet to have it pop up for anyone when it doesn't have two meanings. So the Earth Angel is that you are acting as an Earth Angel for other people. It means that you are being the messenger. When someone is needing to hear words of kindness or encouragement, you are sharing that with them. And it also means that you are receiving that from other Earth Angels. And Earth Angels are people who are open to the divine. And sometimes, words of wisdom just come right through, or they say exactly what you needed to hear. And lots of times they're surprised, right? And when we're the messenger, we say something and then we're like, don't know where that came from, right? But that's because we're willing to be in service that way. And so make sure that during this week you're really listening to other people, because we don't want to discount someone else because they may have an important message for us. And when we're listening with our heart wide open, then often it drops in exactly the right thing to say to help them as well. So yeah, there's a lot of listening that we're supposed to be doing, listening to each other this week so that we can communicate and help each other. Because by helping each other, we're helping each other up. We're raising each other up by working together. All right. Barb. Nice. Of course. So this is the abundance card. Woohoo! More roses. Everything's coming up roses. So the abundance card is that, like, tap into it. There's a lot of flow energy going on for you right now. And you get to use it how you want to. And when we're tapped into flow energy, we can create almost anything. And remember, we can create positively and negatively. And what would you like to have abundantly in your life? So would you like friendships? Would you like connections? Would you like nachos? Would you like money? Would you like beautiful weather? What would you like to call in abundance? Because that is what's coming in. And remember that when we have abundance, we have enough for ourselves and we have enough to share. So the sensation that I'm getting for you too is that abundance is flowing for you and to you, not only so you can have it, but so you have enough to share. And sometimes that can be just our time. When we have an abundance of time, then we can help somebody out who maybe could use an extra hand. So pay attention to this week on what you are abundantly creating. And remember, all it takes is changing your focus and you will change what will flow. All right, nice. All right, this one wanted to stick to me. So Kimberly. So card, please, lovely lady. There's some kind of imbalance with me just now, possibly a hormone imbalance. I'm going to see the doctor about it tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to answer that a little bit separately. So with the imbalance, regardless of what it is, whether it's hormones or anything else, what I'm seeing is the Shiva Lingam stone. And I have one. Hold on. Okay, you see the stone? It's kind of gray and brown. It's called a Shiva Lingam. And it helps to have the crystal, but you can call on the essence of Shiva Lingam no matter what. Now, this balances the masculine, feminine. It balances the spiritual and the physical aspects of ourselves. When we have any kind of imbalance, it means energy is not flowing through both sides of our body equally. So if you've been having more injuries, more pain down one side or the other throughout your lifetime, not just in this moment, that may be the side that is having trouble with finding balance. So if you have a Shiva Lingam, you can wear it right on your heart center. You can place it on your solar plexus. You can also, if you have a small piece of it, you can put it in your pocket on the side where things seem to be stuck. So if you have a lot of injuries down the right side of your body, then you would put it in your right pocket until you feel equal footing as you're walking. And I have done this for so many people. It doesn't matter, like people tell us, oh, you're going through menopause or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. Even with that, even with the changes, bringing in the Shiva Lingam stone, this balances the duality within us. It brings us back to whole. That will help start the journey of balance. And so no matter what the doctor finds, go with that, because once it's manifested in physical form, we need a doctor to help us bring that back into sync, into balance. But the Shiva Lingam will get you going on the other layers of your energy body besides just the physical you. It'll bring the emotional piece back into balance, the mental piece back into balance, and your spiritual piece, okay? And so it goes well with this card too. So the card is realization. So stepping into this aha moment of, oh my gosh, this is how my life has been in balance, in a state of imbalance. And that when things are out of balance around us, they're out of balance within us. It's that, okay, how am I out of balance? How am I out of sync? So know that if you connect to both the right side of your body and the left side of your body more often, if you invite the energy to flow freely, if you are open to the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and allowing God and goddess energy to flow through you, that will help start restoring balance. And there's like an aha moment I see in the next day or two of you're going to be able to connect the dots of, this is when things got out of balance in my life, and there's like this domino effect. And sometimes it happens when we've had some sort of trauma, even if it's not physical trauma, it's a shock to your system, will often start this imbalance and the domino effect of a number of things falling out of sync, falling out of rhythm, so that you have stepped away from the full energy of Kimberly. Does that make sense? And let me know if I can be of help. All right. Kristen, oh my gosh, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You and I need to talk. Because I'm supposed to come visit you. That was clear. So of course, this is your card, my dear. Gratitude. How lovely for you. I love the sunflowers and the beautiful clouds and all of that together. So this is just reminding you that as life is going super fast, to take those moments, those breaths where you reconnect with your heart in that space of gratitude. And I know you do this quite regularly, but I'm just reminding you that when you're in that place of gratitude, that you accelerate the abundant flow even more rapidly. And when we can find gratitude in the crummy things that go on in our lives, not just the beautiful like synchronicities, that's when we get even more expansion, even more energetic flow. And that's when we really step into our true rhythm and our true essence. And so find those moments where you can expand your gratitude, which I can't even imagine really for you, because I experience you as being somebody who's in gratitude quite often. But maybe there's obviously some times when you're not. So when you're not feeling the most grateful about circumstances in life, try to breathe into that heart space and allow gratitude to flow through. Lovely having you here. All right, Nancy. Of course, I'll read for you first. So your card is shelter. So shelter, that can be a tough one, because often that means we need to have a place where we feel safe. And that doesn't have to be our home, but it needs to be at least in our physical body. So when we take shelter in ourselves and can feel at home and at ease no matter where we are, then our external surroundings do not control who we are. So what I'm feeling is that there are times when what's going on around you can really be a little crazy making. And when that happens, you kind of want to turn inwards. You want to kind of hibernate or run and hide or isolate. But the reality is, if you are comfortable within you, then there won't be any need for you to pull back and to isolate. So instead, find shelter in your own heart, find shelter in your own being, and know that your spiritual team and the divine, they've always got you. They're surrounding you, they're protecting you, and they're really holding a lot of space for you. So there you have it. Find the shelter within you, and then everything around you will feel like shelter as well. All right. So Lindsay, hi, Miss Dear. Yours is Divine Companion. And look at the tree women and the beautiful radiant light in between them. And so this is reminding you that, again, you're always surrounded and protected, but that you have your guardian angel, you have your spiritual team who are walking with you all the time. And there's one in particular who walks very close to you. And in that closeness, you can reach out and touch them. And they're not going to leave you alone. They're going to make sure you are always guided. And when we tap into that sense of connection, of that sense of communion is the word that keeps coming in, that sacred bond that you have with your divine companion, with your spiritual team, with your guardian angel, whatever that resonates for you around that, make sure that whenever you're feeling a little unsettled, that you invite your companion in to be with you, to shepherd you along your journey, and to help you release anything that you're holding on to that maybe doesn't feel like you. Because they're really here. Kind of think of them as your best friend, your spiritual best friend. And I would even, if you aren't doing this already, I would start journaling and maybe even create a communication between you and your companion, like, dear companion. That might help fill you in those times when you have that loneliness kind of creep in. All right, my dear. Annette, your card is the Pathways card. And this is a card where it's telling us that, there are many, that you are another one who has a bunch of different choices that are coming up, and none of them are wrong. That's one of the big things. There's no right or wrong choice here. There's many opportunities, and all that you have to do is choose which one. And if you're not sure, again, like I said, there's no wrong or right choice. But if you want to choose what's in resonance or what is you are most attracted to in your physical being, close your eyes and hold each choice. Say each choice out loud and feel it in your body. Sense it in your heart. Sense it in your solar plexus. Those are the two places that people usually feel it the most. Might even be in your throat for you. And which one feels more relaxed? Where do you feel more relaxed? And choose that. Because when we're not stressed out about something, it's easier going, but no matter what, you're going to be held and supported by the divine as you go through and walk this new pathway. And any pathway will be an expansion for you, a growing opportunity. So take whichever one calls to you. It'll be fun. All right, Lisa. You must have this because you're toward the end here. So thank you for having patience. And here's the patience card for you. And, that is quite symbolic, right? There are times when we have to go into waiting mode. We're on standby. And there's a lot to be learned when we can breathe into any impatience that we're having. We're in this kind of planetary place where we're used to wanting things instantly. We push a button and there it is. And so we've gotten really uncomfortable with waiting. And there are many, many times when part of our lesson is about the waiting. And how do we hold our energy? Do we start to go into doubt? Do we start to create anxiety? Do we start to spin in our head and create scenarios? All of those things collapse our energy field. And the more we collapse it, the longer we have to wait. So if you can find ways to get into your heart center and go, nope, everything's happening exactly at the pace it's meant to. And, I know that there's a part of me that would like it to happen faster. But remember, we're in endless time. So it can happen at its own speed and we don't have to worry about it. So take a deep breath and find that patient energy within you, and things will begin to move more quickly once again. All right. Valerie. Of course. So your card is trust, Valerie. Trust can be a tough one, right, for us? Because we got to let go. We've got to let go of expectations, let go of our preconceived notions, let go of all the parameters we've ever held on to, and just trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to, or trust that the right opportunity, the right decision is going to just appear. Trust that, you know, our team is there. You know, kind of what I'm seeing is you're in this place where doubt has crept in a little bit for you. And when doubt creeps in, we disconnect from source. We disconnect from the divine just a smidge. The more doubt we create, the more we disconnect. So how do we release doubt? Well, we just trust. And yes, you know, I think about there are people who, you know, we trusted and then, you know, they did something that upset us. Well, that's what happens because we're humans and we're meant to learn lessons. But it doesn't mean that you give up trusting ever again. So what I keep hearing is this book that's called Tell Me No Lies. And the book is all about that we're in a culture where we're taught to lie really early. And so when we're taught to lie really early, we start to develop distrust really early. And in that distrust, we begin to disconnect. So if you want to feel more connected to your team, to yourself, it's time for you to release all the lies that were told to you, often to keep us safe, and really step into your truth. And when you start to step back into what's true for you, you start to reconnect to the divine, and you start to relax and begin to trust again. And we all need to hear this one. So thank you, Valerie, for having this card reading. All right, let me get a quick sip, Paul. Nice. So, Paul, your card is healing. Good place to be if that's what your card needs to be. I hope you get a chance to listen to one of the healing meditations and use it to help move the healing energy that wants to flow through you. So right now there's a lot of stuck and resistance energy. And we can experience that as physical pain. We can fit, you know, like a back, you know, your back hurting or your neck hurting or you're not sleeping well. All of those things kind of come together because we've got stuck energy. And stuck energy comes together and needs healing. And what I'm feeling is that in particular, your heart is in need of healing. There is some old grief or sadness that has been weighing you down. And it happened in such a way that you protected your heart. You shielded yourself, and you did it to keep yourself safe. But it's time to heal that so that you can really open yourself up to be you. Because when we're shielded and we're always waiting for an attack, then that's what happens. We get attacked. But the real strength, the real love happens when we're willing to be open and vulnerable and true to ourselves. So make sure that you're doing things to facilitate your healing, whether you're doing energy healing, whether you're going to a chiropractor or an acupuncturist, doing physical therapy. But give your body and your soul the time it needs to go through this healing process, because you built up this energy for a long, long time. So it's going to take a little bit of time to release it. And you have to be willing to release it, willing to let it go. And if you do, then all of this beautiful love healing is going to flow through. And I see a lot of Mother Mary energy. That beautiful pink color can be Kuan Yin as well. Just really flowing through and helping you in this time of healing that you're in. All right. Kathy Rollins. Of course I have time for another card. So this is the strategy card. And the strategy card is you got a lot going on. And you can get it all done. But what you need right now is a plan. How are you going to get things accomplished? What things can you ask other people to help you with? What things really don't need your attention? What things did you say yes to that you meant no? And really start to organize how you're going to do this next move forward. So I feel like you're meant to do this sort of march forward. But you got to get all the troops in alignment, make sure you have all the supplies, you have the route where you're going. You got to have everything set, and then you can go. And that just means that it's time for you to sort of put your action plan together so that you can really move forward. When we try to go forward on a journey without a plan, that doesn't work well for everyone. It works well for some people, but a lot of people need to have a plan. And this is the time where a strategy is going to be really important. And remember, you can have a team, a strategic team that can help you with this. You don't have to do everything all alone all the time. Saying that to every person in the room, you know, and everyone who's a mom, right? We tend to do things, we got to do it alone. That's not necessary. So call in your team too and see how you can strategize. Okay, Jackie, of course. So your card, sweetie, is heart space. Look at that heart space. When you see the two hearts, that's the high heart and the heart together, or the transcendental heart, the one that's connected to all of the universe and the one that's connected to humanity. So what's happening for you right now is encouraging you to go inward to your heart space. Kind of like I said to Kristen a little bit ago, when we tap into that heart space of gratitude and we find the place where unconditional love lives within us, then we can approach any situation, no matter how difficult, with love and resilience. And you need a little resilience for what's been going on energetically or what's about to go on. So when we have those difficult situations, sometimes we need to take a deep breath, drop the fear, and find the love. So anything that doesn't feel like love, fill that place with love. Fill that anger with love. Fill that frustration with love. Fill that anxiety with love. Because when we do that, then the solutions can start to flow. And so you remembering how to tap into your heart center and not allowing someone else to pull you out of it, that will help empower you, but it will also help you to connect with others more fully. All right, my dear. Ellen. All right. You are on the end of this. You're not too late. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed chakra sessions yesterday. It was intense. And for those of you who missed it, if you want to connect to your inner wisdom, boy, is that the one for you. think we all should do that one, but that's my own opinion. So your card, my dear, is creation. So what is the artist Ellen creating right now? What would you like to create right now? You know, lots of times your time gets taken up with activities that don't feed your soul. So what I'm hearing is, how are you feeding your soul? What are you creating that brings joy to you and brings joy to others? When we get caught up in adulting, when we get caught up in the mundane, we really lose sight of ourselves. And then when we are there, we start to get resentful. We get resentful of the things that are taking up our time that we would love to be creating in. So, you know, this may take a little reorganization of your time or your energy to make space. And maybe it's, you know, getting somebody to help you, or making sure, signing yourself up for a class, an art class where you need to go so that you put the time in your schedule. And it doesn't have to be art, but I keep seeing an empty canvas and paints and the paintbrush that are waiting for you. And sort of like your puppy kind of sad that you're not doing the painting. So what can you create? What can you make space for? And how can you build that into your schedule a little better? Because that will help everything flow, including money. All right. There you go, my dear. All right, Joanne. Your card, my dear, is the Gateway. And the Gateway is a really important card because we just passed through the Lion's portal energetically. It just ended. And with that, we all have our own gateway to the divine. We have our own way that we connect to the divine energy, how we connect to our higher self, and even to our Akashic records, our past lives. There we have that portal of connection within us. So remembering that, you know, what you're seeking is inside of you. The gateway is inside of you. It's not up there. It's in here. In here. You are the gateway to your own healing. You are the gateway to you. You are the gateway to the divine, if you remember that. So it's all been activated really recently for you to really tap into that energy. And do you trust yourself enough to do it? Because, you know, sometimes we doubt our abilities or doubt something about, you know, am I really experiencing this? Let yourself connect to that. You know, we have a gateway, and we can have parts of our spiritual team might even be the gatekeeper of what energy gets to flow through your gateway and connect to you and through you. This is also a big card for people who are really good at channeling or mediumship, because there's the gateway to the other side as well. And I have a very strong gatekeeper. You know, no riffraff are allowed in. The highest, fullest, brightest divine beings are allowed to connect to me and get to my gate. And then I get to decide what energy comes through. But we all have that ability. So remember that the gate you're seeking, the door that you're hoping to open for opportunity, it's all inside of you. So look inside, not outside of you, for what you are seeking. There you go. All right, Kimberly. Ah, nice. The blessing card. There is no too late in this show. I probably should have that as a tagline. We just go until we're done, or until I'm ready to pass out, and I'm good. So the blessing card for you is to remember to count all the positive things that are going on in your life. It's really easy for us to get, pissed off and caught up in everything that's going wrong and to blame and get aggravated. There's a difference between that and within setting good boundaries. So I'm not telling you, you need to set good boundaries with other people so that you don't get caught into that negativity. But how can you remember all of the blessings? You have these two beautiful children who bring you love and light every single day. They fill your heart with joy, right? And they remind you of what really is truly important. So, there's a blessing that's coming in to descend upon you. I don't know what that looks like. It just feels like a softening of the energy, so it doesn't have to be so harsh or so dense. And it quiets is what I'm feeling. It's quieting things down. So when this card comes in and it's inviting us to focus on the blessings, this is the perfect time to start doing gratitude. And that's been a thing throughout the evening. So for you in particular, every time something wants, to pull your energy down, like you get mad because something goes wrong, feel that for a second, notice it, recognize it, and then start naming in that instant all the things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for Sophia's smile. I'm grateful for Bodhi's laugh. I'm grateful for being able to take a hot tubby. I'm grateful for a beautiful car that runs smoothly. Whatever it is that you can think of, and just keep naming grateful things until you feel your heart center full and bright again. Because, other people sometimes want to knock us down to make themselves feel better. But we don't have to allow that. That's part of the shift that wants to happen. So get on that, sweetie, because I know that's the best thing for you. All right. So that was the last card. And the card that fell on the floor earlier is for Neshi. So apparently my team was saving it for her so nobody else could have it. So Neshi, your card is Illumination. Look at you all lit up with fire. You're lighting the way. You're paving the path. You're keeping everything grounded and centered and still burning your light bright. Continue illuminating the pathway for those who are connected to you and through you. And thank you for all that you do to light the way. Woo! And with that, you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening. And thank you for joining me here on Soul Connections with Jo Labbé. I will be back here next week at 7 o'clock for healing and readings. And you can also join me Tuesdays at noon for chakra sessions. Because boy, those have been some really cool teachings. And if you're ready to shift and grow your soul, join us. All right, with that, have a great night, guys. We'll see you soon.